Welcome to the Chaotic Tea Party, where your host Shell
and Annette tackle questions or topics that vary from the insane
to the mundane. Please be advised that this podcast has an explicit rating.
It will contain adult language and content that some listeners may find offensive.
With that in mind, if you still think this is your cup of tea,
welcome to our Chaotic Tea Party,
where nothing makes sense, but the tea is strong
and the biscuits are plentiful.
Season 3.
Well, hello again, my friend Michelle.
Good morning, Annette.
How are you, my darling?
I'm alright, thank you. I'm more awake than last time we spoke, so it's always good.
Always a plus, never a negative.
How are you?
Yeah, no, I'm doing all right. Quite bubbly this morning. I've got myself a little bit of a pastry side dish thing going on here, so I might phase out every so often.
Nom 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 nom.
That Cinnabon is staring at me and it says, "Come hither." So, we are continuing with the season of Emma.
Woohoo! Emma, Emma, Emma.
All Emma, all season long.
I like it.
And Emma's question today is, what's something you really regret paying for? I'm intrigued.
In blood, pain, or cash.
I am desperate to know what yours is going to be.
I don't know. I did see this question and I thought, gosh, that's a hard one because we're old. I suppose the top ones, if we're not talking about the emotional toll of paying for things in blood, sweat, and tears, and we're talking about hard cash and currency, the top two that spring to mind would be there was a holiday to a country that will remain unnamed. And
oh yeah,
and it was the worst fucking holiday of my life.
Wow.
Yeah, I got out there. I got really badly sunburned. I got sunstroke. The people were rude. I couldn't find a fucking pharmacy anywhere. That one, and the food was shit as well. So I was like, not only are you hot, because I don't respond well to the heat.
No.
You're talking about someone who generally goes on holiday to cold places like Sweden, Russia. Do you know, a neutral place like Amsterdam, neutral temperatures. And I was absolutely roasting. Then I got sunstroke, and then I got sunburn, and I was hungry. The whole fucking time I was hungry. I think I lived on a toasted sandwich was the only thing that I could eat. I mean, any place that serves you chicken that's still red.
Oh.
Yeah, it was like I'm already feeling unwell. I can really do without some kind of high level poisoning where I lose the last of my fluids and nutrients. So that was one of them. And it was a Mediterranean-ish country. And one of the most horrific things about that holiday was they had these spiders that were everywhere.
Yeah.
And I swear to God, when you got close to them, they looked like they had beaks.
Oh my God.
And when you tried to catch them or flip-flop them,
Yeah.
they would jump at you. Yeah, the whole thing, just from beginning to end, was a fucking nightmare. I was quite young as well. If I was older, I'm now, and I've done it since, I would have left.
Yeah.
I would have just got in a cab and come home. But when you're that little bit younger and you're in your early 20s, you're a bit like, well, I've paid for it and I don't know about paying to just leave. And now I and I have done it since. I just go, no, I'm leaving now. Can you book me a cab, please? To the airport. Thank you. So that was one of them that was absolutely fucking horrific. And the other one was a tattoo.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so I paid for it was my first tattoo. It was a bit of an impulse, and I had a off-the-shelf tattoo.
Oh no.
Yeah, and it was of a dragon, and there was nothing wrong with the tattoo that the lady did, but it ended up being something that then all of a sudden, you get these phases, don't you? Like tribal tattoos were a really big thing at one point.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, everywhere I looked, all these people had exactly the same fucking tattoo that I had. That would be a regret. So it was a little a dragon. Well, I say little. It was probably the size of my hand.
Yeah.
Um, and I hated it so much that I ended up paying for it to be covered up.
I think I
Um,
remember when you got that done because you kept going on about how uncomfortable the position you had to be in when they were doing it.
yeah. I mean, having since discovered a really good tattooist, an amazing guy called Lee. Yeah, I think she had me so that I was sitting on my knees on just a chair, like a dinner chair.
Yeah.
And it was just my legs went dead, my back was hurting. So it wasn't even the pain of the tattoo, although it was over my kidney, which is a notoriously uncomfortable place to have one.
Ooh.
That would be one of my biggest regrets is following the crowd really, and being impulsive on something and paying for a tattoo that I then hated.
Yeah.
I love my cover up.
Yes.
So it led to, because it's massive, my back, I've got like half a back piece.
It's so pretty.
Thank
I
you.
absolutely love it. Oh, I was amazed when she showed it to me. It's so
But
nice.
it's a gnarly tree,
It's
just in case anyone's wondering. It's like a leafless, gnarly tree.
it's so cool.
Um, and I probably, so it was kind of a good thing came out of it because I probably would never have had anything that big if I wasn't trying to cover up a fuck up,
Yeah.
which again was my fuck up, not the tattooist's. So yeah, that would be something I really regret of following the crowd, being young, following the crowd, and just plucking something off the shelf, whereas all my other tattoos are individualized.
Very good.
So that's my two, a really shit holiday and a tattoo. You?
My one is it was a mixture. It's a holiday again,
Yeah.
and it was a mixture of amazing and fucking terrible.
Okay. Well, at least you got
I got
50-50.
well, yes. It's the only time I've gone on holiday and lost weight. So, oh God, a good few years ago now, went on a family holiday to Agadir in
Yep.
Morocco. We were really excited because this is Hayden was with us, so it's a big family holiday.
Yep.
This was the first time I think any of us had been on the African continent, so it was a
Yes.
huge deal to us.
Do you like the heat though?
Well, Andy's more the sunny bunny.
Yep.
I'm either way. I could happily do like go on a holiday that you go on. He would not. He would feel he'd been cheated out of a holiday if the
Really?
yeah.
It's such a personal thing, holidays, isn't it?
But I love both because I would do all the like city breaks and stuff like that, and he's like,
Yeah.
yeah, but I'd rather spend it on a 2 week all inclusive. So I know I'm not hungry, but I'm eating it anyway. You know.
Yeah. So see, I get bored as well, though, don't I? So that's why I like my shorter little bursts.
Well, the thing is as well that we do always do as many excursions as we can when we're there as well.
Yeah.
We're not
Yeah.
just going to lie down by the pool all day every day.
Yeah.
That's we get bored like that. But he would prefer to do it in the hotter climates.
Yes.
So yeah, we were really excited. We were going to Agadir. It was the flight times were horrendous, but they usually are from Manchester.
Mm. Yep.
So we were going to be landing at like 3 in the morning, I think it was.
Yep.
So not only have we got, as you most of you might know, Hayden is on the autistic spectrum, so everything's a bit of a struggle, especially when it comes to airports. He
Yep.
hates flying, but he loves when he gets there.
So it's that journey is the issue. Yep.
Yeah. He we couldn't get him to sleep during the day because he was too
Yep.
excited. So you've got to imagine you've got this. How old he would have been? Probably 7, maybe 8 years old at the time. So very, very tired,
Yep.
overtired, overstimulated. We got on this plane anyway. It was
Mm.
pretty cramped. It was a long ass journey.
Yep.
And I was like, oh God, couldn't sleep on the plane whatsoever.
Yep.
Um, we land. They put on a blast of air conditioning, like really fucking cold as we land. I'm like,
Yeah.
what the fuck is this for? What they're doing that? We get off this plane, and Michelle, the heat hit you. It's
Like walking into a wall, like that scene from Ab Fab.
yeah,
Yeah.
and this is like 3 o'clock in the fucking morning. It's like, oh no, what have we done? And then we walk. You have to. It was You were walking from the plane outside to go into
Yeah.
the arrivals gate, and there's all these bumps all over the ground. It's like,
Oh man, I know where this is
what
going.
the fuck is all this? And like they're in, and you can see them inside the arrivals hall as well. So what the? They were fucking flying fucking beetles, Michelle. They were everywhere. They were fucking huge.
It's just a culture shock, isn't it?
It
You know, like,
was. And then we're in this queue trying to get through the passport thing, and Hayden is just fucking knackered. We still have yet to get. It's warm. There's these giant bugs. They're not moving. You have to walk around them. It's like, okay, we'll get on the coach. We'll be fine. Get on the transfer coach. It's like, where the fuck are we driving through? This looks like it's in the middle of a war. What the fuck is going on? Everything just looks so desolate, and oh God! And Hayden started to fall asleep, didn't he? Just as we arrived at the
yeah,
hotel. You get to the hotel, you have to then sign in more paperwork.
yeah,
Well, he was just like looking at me with a look on his face, like it don't matter what you say to me, I'm gonna be a fucking bastard, right? Yeah, there was just that look in his eyes, like no, no,
there's no saving
there's
this. Yeah.
it's past its point. And that we're trying to write, we're all exhausted. And this lovely lady who's been on the plane with us, she'd been there several times, so she helped us fill out the form. We got to this room, and it was I lay down in the bed, Michelle, and I burst into tears.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
what have we done? I literally said the words, "I've come on holiday by mistake." And then proceeded then like the mornings it was very windy, but it got very hot very quickly. They had these umbrellas that had nothing to hold them down, so they were constantly blowing on top of you. um, Andy and I both got the most horrendous food poisoning I've ever experienced in my entire life.
Thus you lost weight.
Yeah, yeah. Like it's like when you're at the point where you would rather throw up than go to the toilet anymore.
Yes.
I've
Yeah.
never felt like that in my life till that holiday. And there was luckily I got it first, and there was a pharmacy next door because they obviously have these things ready to go packs for the British tourists turning up. It's like if you're handling the money, don't put your hands in your mouth. Wash every time. And I reckon that's probably where we fucked up.
Yeah.
Either that or the fact that it was the undercooked fucking omelettes in the restaurant. Yeah,
Well, at least you had choices.
it was that or salad for breakfast.
Oh.
Yeah, because
Ooh.
obviously they don't cater for the like the British menu
Yep.
type thing. It's all very continental or because they don't really do breakfast as
Yeah.
such over there, do they? So they
Mm.
have like salady things and stuff. Um, but yeah, so luckily I got it that day because then I had it for 2 days. I couldn't leave the room. I was just this mess, this puddle on the bed watching TV in 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 Morocco,
It's
Moroccan
a long
telly.
way to go just to watch the BBC News, mate.
Just so like I'm just gonna put on a movie. I don't know what they're saying, but I was gonna leave it on and guess at it. What was nice though, because where our room was, you could see over the water slides that were in the hotel, and I could
Yeah.
watch Hayden from there.
Yeah.
But then, like 2 days later, Andy got the exact same bug,
Fucking hell.
and the pharmacy was shut for like the rest of the week or something like that. I was like, oh no! Luckily, I had enough of the meds left that he could just take
Yeah.
them. But then, so it was his turn then to like every so often you'd see this head pop over a balcony to look and see, like give you a wave, and then crawl back into bed. Oh, it was. But Hayden had the time of his life.
Well, that's something.
He got on really well with all the staff, even like
Mm.
cross language barriers as well. They were so understanding and so good with him.
And he
Uh,
probably had a lot more freedom because you two were trapped. It's like, "Hey, mummy and daddy can't come and find me now. By the time she gets down the balcony, it'll be too late."
I think the peak of it was when we were all actually able to spend time together. We sat on a sun lounger, and I nearly get knocked. I get like a buff on the head. It proper knocked
Yeah.
me. Yeah, one of them fucking beetles got caught in my hair.
No, see, it sounds just like something from hell,
Yeah,
mate. It sounds like a nightmare. Something that should be in a nightmare holiday documentary.
Andy near fucking pissed his pants at me. Like, get it out of my hair!
He didn't try and save you then, no? He was
No,
just too busy laughing at you.
exactly. Oh, the alcohol is an issue because we like a drink, as is well documented, me and Andy. But obviously, this is a country where alcohol is not a big thing.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Didn't think of that.
So we were consigned to either like these really shitty beers,
Yeah.
or there was they call it a gin fizz. It wasn't. It was a gin flat. There was no fizz in that gin, and I don't think there was very much gin in the gin fizz either. So there was a kind of like European friendly sook across the road.
Yeah.
It's like you don't have to batter, don't worry,
Mm.
because uncomfortable. Uh, and he was selling booze, and we bought this. I think it was like a rum or a vodka or something. Oh,
Yeah.
it was, and we took it over to the room, Michelle. It was like terps.
Someone made it themselves in the garage,
It
yeah?
tasted like fuel. But you know what? We sat on that balcony. We heard the call to prayer, and we were drinking them drinks. Make the best of it, what you will. But that's all the positives was. Like I said, the staff were fantastic. They were all dead nice. We
Mm.
got to have some those days that we weren't ill. We didn't get to do everything that we wanted
Yeah.
to because we wanted to go into like is it the Atlas Mountains and stuff like that, but we couldn't do
Yeah.
it. But we did get to do a tour,
Mm.
and we were the only ones there. Us and this the guy that was leading us. We got
Yeah.
to see a caravan of camels going past a river. We got to go to this Medina that was reconstructed Medina. We got to
Yeah.
see all the people doing their different like jewelry making, and
Yeah.
Andy made best friends with the spice merchant.
Did you bring any back?
He did. It's still it's still got some going, but yeah, he brought a massive bag off of him, and the guy was like, "Oh, thank you," and he gave us like a load of freebies, and yeah, it was a fantastic. We ended up sat on a veranda with this guy pouring us traditional Moroccan mint tea, and there was peacocks walking behind us.
Yeah.
I mean,
That
magic.
sounds amazing. Yeah.
That was worth the fucking awful time we had the rest